Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about winterizing your soft wash and your pressure wash systems. That's very important, especially you guys that live in a northern climate. Down here in Alabama, it don't really get that cold, so we don't have to deal with it as much as you guys do. So if you're living somewhere where it's cold or winter is approaching, you need to winterize, okay? Every spring we get a massive influx of problems from guys not winterizing. All this stuff is plastic because it's running bleach through it, so it's got to be plastic, but it will break. You can destroy a really expensive pressure washer by not winterizing. So very simple to do, okay? If you've got a skid from us or anybody else, or you built your own, the process should be about the same across the board. In the past, what I've done, because here where we live, we'll have cold nights, and then the next day it's going to be 60 degrees, so we'll go work. So it's annoying for us to winterize the liquid method, although that's the best method. So we'll cheat sometime. We'll put a heat lamp here over the pump, and we'll shine a halogen light here. I'll put my hose reel so that my wand is kind of right there, and I'll try to hit all three of these items with a halogen light and winterize that way. I'm basically keeping all that stuff from dropping below 32 degrees, and so everything's fine. The liquid way, which is the better way to do it, would be negative 100 degree antifreeze. We had some guys here at the shop do that one day. They had like Arctic levels of winterization going on. So how would you winterize this system, both the pressure washer and the soft wash system?
You'll want to drain your water down, and by doing that you can crank the pressure washer up, you can run it out that way, you can turn your soft wash system on, cut your bleach and your soap off, and just pull until you've emptied your tank.
Yep. Get all the water that you can out of that water tank. So we're really just using the water tank here. Now, when we first built a system, all three of these tanks only have water in them because we're testing everything in here in the shop. But if you've been running, your bleach tank's got bleach. Bleach doesn't freeze till it gets down to, I think it's like 14 degrees. Your soap tank, it's not going to freeze that readily either because it's got soap in the mix. But that water tank right there with just water only, it's going to freeze. So, like he said, get all the water you can. Right now it's right here. I'm going to drain it down as far as I can, get all that water out so that I'm not going to dilute the antifreeze that I'm about to add to the tank. How many gallons does it take on these particular tanks? We say about 8 or 9?
Yeah, I think, somewhere
less than 10.
something like that.
Now, depending on the shape of your tank, it may take a little more. If you got a big 200-gallon water tank like on our trailer back there, you're going to need a lot more antifreeze to fill up the bottom of the tank and be able to suck it through all the lines. So dump your antifreeze in and then do what?
Then you want to turn your valve on, your water valve, and you want to cut your pump on and just run that through it. Cycle it until it comes out of your wand. That way you know your whole line's loaded, your wand's loaded, everything is loaded with antifreeze.
Yep. Same thing on the pressure washer. Okay, this is a very simple process. Now that you've got antifreeze in that water tank, we're going to go ahead and winterize this line. When we see it, it's usually pink antifreeze. When we see it come out the wand, cut it off. That one's good. Do the same thing on the opposite side on our systems. Most of them have 2. The mini skids just have 1, so wouldn't have to worry about it there. But then we're going to run it through the pressure washer. Same concept. Going to run it till I see it come out the ball valve on the pressure wash line and cut it off. All right, I have seen guys do the heat lamp trick, and they put the heat lamp over here on the motor. All right, that's a gas-powered engine. It don't care about getting cold. All right, it doesn't need any antifreeze. It's a 2-cycle engine. So we want to keep this pump here from getting frozen because it does have water still in the unloader. Make sure your soft wash systems are winterized. Now let's take a look at the mini skid because it's a direct drive. Show you a little bit of a different thing you got to do on these. We were using this in a previous video. Actually, come around the back side back there. Okay, so the soft wash system would be exactly the same here. Whichever tank is your water tank, winterize the soft wash system just like we did over there. But here, since this is a direct drive unit and we feed this off the customer's house, there's no tank here. So what you can do is just run to Lowe's or Home Depot. Walmart even sells a little aerosol kit that you can thread right onto here, pull the trigger. It may not have enough to cycle it all the way through this 100-foot hose. What you can do is just take this Allen off right here, and once you see it come out here, you know you've winterized the pump. You could take this hose or any of these fittings just so it's got somewhere to go, and once you see it come out, you know you're winterized. You don't really need to winterize this hose, but that aerosol can may not have enough in it to come all the way through this 100-foot hose and come back out. That stuff's cheap. I think it's about $5 for a can. Make sure you're winterizing those as well. That's pretty much it for winterizing. Just make sure you do it. Hope you guys have a great one. We'll see you in the next video.